So, and that's probably in part either lack of knowledge or perception about what the University of Florida is. My experience 30 years ago was when somebody called me up from the University of Florida and said, "Would you like to consider a job here?" I went, "Where?" I'd never really thought about University of Florida at all. And I think that's pretty much the case in many sectors of the country. Our story is not out there.
And you're right, the challenge comes, how do we get them interested? How do we make that transition between them being excited about a sports property to them being excited about something else? Well, the first part of that is to make sure that the content that I'm providing is understandable and relatable. And so that's part of what I do. Is if I get information, I have to be able to look at the piece of content, the information about the research breakthrough or whatever, and I have to be able to kind of say, okay, I'm presenting this to someone who's a fan of the University of Florida. They may not know about proton therapy, but what can I do about this content and this information? What can I provide that kind of bridges the gap between somebody who's an athletic supporter or somebody who is an interest in the University of Florida? How can I make them appreciate this piece of content? And if I can't, then it might not be something that I can really take advantage of.
I absolutely think the potential of social media could help us build those relationships in a much better way and make those connections and build that community.
The 90% who's not engaged with the Alumni Association, we need to be able to speak to them using a number of different vehicles. And we need to speak to them in terms in a way that they want to be spoken to. And we know that technology will play a part in that. Because the database is still a work in progress, we are unable to fine-tune or specify our campaigns in a way that is as specific to a certain group as possible. So that's a challenge.